that's just how it is. I'll cut out the beginning of this.
Don't wear sunglasses. I just won't wear sunglasses.
No, we both wear sunglasses.
No,
they'll think it's funny.
No, I don't.
Yeah, if we both wear sunglasses, they'll think it's funny. We got to do it with unity. They're gonna think you're blind if you're the only one wearing them.
All right.
So anyway, welcome to Cockles of the Heart, episode 30, and this is my dad Blake. It's a Friday podcast. You guys probably just saw the Monday podcast with my mom, and we're following up with Dad over here. So, say hello, Dad.
Hello.
He says
people.
Hello. People.
Before we get started, don't forget to hit that like button.
Yeah.
This broadcast, and go ahead and subscribe. You might get some future hunting video tips later on.
Yeah, we were talking earlier today. We were watching hunting videos, as he likes to do. I had him hooked up to the TV with his phone, so we were watching hunting videos, and told him that I would videotape his hunting adventures as long as he would fly me out there on a plane. So you guys might see some hunting footage of this guy chasing pigs around or chasing around some elk. So we'll see how it goes. We might be taking the camera off road, so we'll see how that is. But
so we'll be in our camo clothes next time you see us. Probably
you won't be able to see us.
Probably outdoors.
Yeah, running around in the deserts of what's that town called? Dudley.
Yeah, we don't discuss the details of our hunting areas.
Yeah. We're next to No Name Creek.
Yeah.
And none of your business peak. So, what we do today, we went to the fair. What was like the best part of the fair, you think? We did a lot more last year, but it was also super hot last year. We went back twice.
Probably the rooster calling.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. I thought you were going to go up there and try it out. So they had this rooster calling competition where they have like, what was it, like 6 roosters?
No, like 8 or 10.
8 or 10 roosters in a bunch of little cages, and people would sign up, and you'd sit there and try to get the roosters to crow, and then you get a point for each time a rooster crows, and whoever wins, you get like $20 for first place, 15 for second, 10 for third. And it was mostly just a bunch of little kids sitting there jumping at the chickens through the cage and making chicken noises, and then like some of the kids' moms were trying it out. And it was pretty funny. I've never seen a rooster crowing. I thought it was going to be something like they had a microphone on a stage and they were going to do their best rooster impersonation, not like
that's what
getting
I was thinking. Yeah.
They're like
they were trying to use their cell phones and everything else to get those roosters to crow, and it just didn't happen real well.
No, not really. In
fact, one of the roosters wanted to go after the contestants several times.
That little girl
was pretty PO'd, so.
Yeah, the little girl got right up by the cage, and rooster tried to peck her through the cage. That was pretty funny. Have you ever seen those pig videos where they make the pig squealing sounds?
No, just in the movie Deliverance, I think I saw that.
Deliverance, we were talking about that earlier with the banjo playing thing. So, let me ask a couple questions here. I'll ask you some of the same ones I asked Mom, just to compare your guys' questions. So, tell me about the day you guys met each other. And you can't use her story because I know you saw the podcast you took before, but you guys met at the cafeteria.
Yeah, the way
or something?
I remember it is she was sitting at MSU at the cafeteria in the dorm up against the wall by herself. And I went over to her. I'd met her the day before a little bit, and I said, "You shouldn't eat by yourself. I'll eat with you." And
pretty smooth.
What's that?
That's pretty smooth.
Yeah. So I had a corner seat up against the wall. I had no place to go, so she had to say yes. And from there we went to the library all the time to hide from my other girlfriends I had at the time. Yeah.
This plethora of hens.
And it was like 18 months later we got married.
Okay, nice. And what year did you meet her? Was that your freshman year?
1985.
Yeah, but was it like your freshman year at MSU?
No, I started January 1st of 84.
Oh, okay. So sophomore, second, I don't know. Was it still Reed Hall? Was the library, or was it switched up?
I don't remember I don't remember the layout of the campus.
Huh. How did you propose to her? Because I don't think I ever heard that story.
I don't remember if I ever did. I think I just gave her a ring and that was about it.
Yeah, marry me, woman.
Yeah.
Want to make kids with me?
She was dating a short little guy from Arizona, about the size of a fire hydrant, I guess.
Was it Joey?
Joe.
Yeah, didn't he have like
We
a
call him
sports
Little
car?
Joe's.
Yeah, Little Joe. Yeah, didn't he have like a sports car or something? Like a
No, he didn't
Camaro?
have nothing. He
Yeah.
was a paramedic or something later
geez.
in life. I don't know what he did.
Yeah, and you grew up to be a fish and wildlife
Who,
guy.
me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what you're going to school for.
Yeah.
What was like how long did you do that job for?
About 2 or 3 years. Lowest paying job I ever had, and the only one that required a college degree.
Yeah. No kidding. Yeah, that's kind of how it is these days. It
I
was
like that return.
And what was like part of your job for that? You just checked people's tags when they're hunting and stuff?
No, we
or-
did research, mostly walleye nutritional studies, where a guy with his PhD put the recipe together, and I made the pellets from all that, from the recipe. I'd use, mix all the ingredients together, and then run it through a pellet machine, which used a lot of steam, hot steam, and it produced a pellet. So when I got done with it, I reached like fish meal and fish blood and everything else. So when I got home, I had to take all my clothes off before Mom would let me in the house. It was stink that bad.
Yeah.
And so I did that, and then I took care of all the studies, the fishery studies and stuff like that.
So you're like a scientist for fish
Yeah.
kind of deal?
You know, you did research. We were trying to develop an artificial feed to feed walleye inside hatcheries like they do trout, which walleye are a little harder to do that because one reason they're pretty small when they're born, and like walleye, you'll get about 15,000 eggs per pound of female fish, and rainbows, you'll get about 3,000 eggs per pound of female fish. So evolutionary wise, maybe that you expect more mortality in a fish that produces more eggs, so you get that, you know, same recruitment year after year, just like a trout would get, you know, with 3,000 eggs. So anyway.
So walleye would produce more babies than trout?
Well, yeah, but
average.
they would produce more eggs, but their survival rate would be a higher mortality
Oh, that's
than
probably
you
what,
would expect in trout. So that's why they're producing more eggs.
yeah, to compensate for
Yes,
the mortality rate.
right.
Yeah, so that speaks science a
Yeah.
little bit. That's probably the most intelligent, sciencey thing I've ever heard you talk about. I mean, yeah, I forget. I don't know why I assumed that you were.
Well, I'm a pretty intelligent kid raising too. I mean, I
Yeah.
just don't
You don't expect.
brag. I don't brag about it.
He's very humble, you know. Where were you born at again? You were born in Washington. Were you Moses Lake?
Well, I was born on Air Force Base, Larson Air Force Base,
Okay.
Moses Lake.
Yeah.
My dad was a fire pilot taking winter survival there, and they said I was born on a day where it was a huge snowstorm, and yeah, I stayed at the hospital that night. But we were on base, so we didn't have to travel far.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think we were there probably a year or less, because then you got transferred to Enid, Oklahoma after that. At Tinker Air Force Base, I believe it was.
Yeah, and then you lived in Germany for.
Well, then
little
from
bit.
there we went to Arizona, and he took pilot training. Then from there we went to Florida, Homestead Air Force Base, where he took ocean survival. And then we moved to Arkansas while he went to Vietnam. And after he got back from Vietnam, we moved to California for 3 years. And then from California, we moved to Alabama, where he got his master's at Auburn. And he was stationed at Maxwell Air Force Base there. And they were there for a year. And then we moved to Germany, where I went 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. And then from there we went to Phoenix, Arizona, where I went to high school.
And then, sorry, I zoned out a little bit. Something like stomped on the ground. But how old were you when you were in Germany? Because didn't you meet up with some, or you...
6th, 7th, and 8th grade.
Okay, so middle school.
75, 6, and 7. Came back the day after Elvis Presley died. Because I remember seeing on the newspaper stand there, it said Elvis Presley dead at 42. And I told my parents they were busy getting ticket stuff. I said, hey, Elvis Presley died yesterday. And we were flying into Memphis. Of course, that's where he died. That's where he lived.
Yeah.
And then, yeah.
Huh.
So that was August of 77. I don't remember when he died. Actually, maybe today, actually.
Oh, really?
17th, yeah.
If I had my phone, I'd look it up right
Yeah, you
now.
look it up. I think it, or August 20-something. Yeah, it's about this time.
Oh, that's crazy. I didn't even think that. For some reason, I always felt like Elvis died like way before your time, but I guess
No,
you were in middle school.
I was, 8th grade. Well, after 8th grade.
I was going to talk to you. I asked Mom what was like the craziest concert or craziest thing she's ever done in her life, and she had zero answers because she's so straight-laced. But I know you went to a bunch, like your generation had the best rock bands and concerts ever. Like, what was like the best concert you ever went to, or like top 3 or something like that? Because it was like Queen, Foreigner, AC/DC, Cheap Trick, all those.
Yeah, with Cheap Trick. I never did make it to AC/DC. I can't remember that one. But Kiss was actually pretty good. I didn't think they'd be that great.
Mm-hmm.
But they put on a pretty good show. And then Styx a few times. Bob Seger. Back then... Foreigner was pretty good back then.
Mm-hmm.
REO Speedwagon.
Like CCR or Leonard
No, I didn't
Skinner
see
or
any
any
of
of
those.
Mm.
Black Sabbath. I can't remember some of those. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Foghat.
That was a
The
good
only
one.
concert I ever walked out of is at Compton Terrace in Phoenix. Was a Willie Nelson concert. Couldn't handle it. We left.
What was so bad about it?
Yeah, it was just bad. It was too slow.
Yeah. It wasn't hard enough.
We weren't the only ones.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah, the only concerts I've been to is a couple country ones, and first one I went to was Linkin Park in Boston, which was crazy because they had like mosh pits and stuff. And then I've seen Korn and Breaking Benjamin, and those are like super hardcore metal rock. Like when I went to Korn, we called them Korn Creatures because there was all these like horrible looking crackhead emo people that like came crawling out from under bushes and stuff.
I
And
never heard of them.
Korn, yeah, they're pretty. I'm surprised you haven't heard of them. They're pretty.
Yeah, I can't remember. I've been to like 75 of different people, and I can't remember them right off the
geez.
top of my head. I didn't get the questions ahead of time.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'd have a longer list.
Yeah, I gave him basically zero
Yeah.
heads up. But so before these interviews, I messaged some of your brothers and sisters, and the only brother that actually responded was Lee. And I asked him, hey, like, tell me some topic or story that I can bring up that me and my dad can talk about that, he'd be surprised. And one of them was, he said, I forgot where he said it was. I think it was in Arizona, but you got hit in the eye with a baseball.
Oh, yeah, we were playing in an all-star game, and I was pitching, and the guy hit a ball out to outfield, so I ran, and he was a guy coming to third base. I was going to back up third base, and we were playing at night, and the lights were bright, really bright, and I never just see the ball. I was backing up third base. I looked up, and the ball hit me right in the eye.
Oh, jeez.
And I was in the hospital for a couple of days.
Oh, is that bad? You break your orbital bone
No,
or
I
something?
didn't break anything. Hit me. No, it didn't hurt.
Just right in the
that bad.
eyeball. Huh. He said that he thought it might have been Sean that hit you in the eye.
No, this
Oh,
we're
sure.
on an all-star team, and this is another one of our players that threw the ball, but it wasn't him. Sean played infield, so
Yeah.
it was a guy from right field threw the ball, and I never did see it, but
Yeah. Just smoked.
but we
right
won
in
the
face.
game. I was the pitcher. We won. Sean was actually catching, I think.
Oh yeah, because he was the catcher and you were the pitcher for all
Yeah.
that stuff, huh? Let me go back here. There was a couple pictures I sent myself of. Oh yeah, see that's the text that he sent me. And then he asked, "You stepped on a really big cactus and had a needle around your heel."
That was in Phoenix. It's like this thing around our garage, some kind of, I don't know if it was a cactus or some kind of vine with like 4-inch thorns.
Mm-hmm.
And one must have got between the sidewalk and the sod, the grass, and I was barefooted, and I don't know, that's the way I stepped on it, and went through the meat of my heel off to the side, and it went completely through. And that felt good. So, yeah, I went to the ER, and they pulled it out, and wasn't no big deal after that. So.
Yeah. Do you remember? I don't even know if I told you.
Remember that, Lee?
Yeah, it was Lee.
No.
Yeah. I had a similar story, kind of. I don't know if Mom ever told you, but I was floating the Madison with my buddies, and I was drinking a little bit, and I fell off my tube and lost my tube. So I ran up on the shoreline of the river, and I was sprinting down the river, and it was kind of up high, so the river's down here, and the shelf I was running on was up here, and I was running as fast as I could to catch up to my tube, and I ended up stepping on a cactus, and I just kept running because I didn't really feel it because my feet were a little numb from the cold river. And then I Superman dove onto the tube, landed it, and the bottom of my foot had so many cactus needles in it. It looked like the bottom of my foot was fuzzy.
Yeah.
So when I got home, I called Mom, told her what happened, and I told her to bring over some of that hot wax that girls use to wax their armpits and stuff.
Yeah, I use that on my chest. Yeah.
Oh yeah. You're a little.
Grass doesn't grow on a playground. That's another subject we'll get to another day.
Yeah, give me
Don't
the
forget
bird.
to hit that like button.
You're very good at this. You might be my new co-host. If I ever become famous, I'll rename the podcast.
Yeah.
It'll be you and me. But yeah, we ended up putting hot wax on the bottom of my foot and ripping it out. And then there was a couple like big, thick black bastards that got in my heel, and we had to go to the hospital, and they had to numb my foot and cut open my foot to reach the needles. Because when I stepped on it, I kept running, so it shoved the needle up further, and then it broke off the end, so you couldn't grab it with tweezers. So I don't know if she ever told you that. I had a lot of hospital visits where Mom came and picked me up, but we never told you because I was.
No, I don't remember that.
Drinking, yeah. So
Probably why you didn't feel them.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was too drunk. I didn't feel it at all. So, what was your first job ever?
Putting price labels on candles at Wicks and Sticks in Metro Center in Phoenix for $2 an hour. No, actually it was like $1.75 an hour. Then I got a raise, $2 an hour.
Got a whole quarter.
Yeah, that was my first job. I did it at Metro Center for a guy named George Long. Paid me $1.75. And at the same time, I had the second job. Me and this guy played on my baseball team. We cut class one afternoon. We decided to go to Dairy Queen to have some ice cream. We're missing our class in the afternoon. And we decided to fill out applications at Dairy Queen's. So we got a call. We got a job. And he wasn't very good at it. He got let go after a month or two. That was Rob Manzer. And they kept me on till we went to Los Angeles to watch a Dodgers game, and I decided I didn't want to do ice cream for a living, so I never went back, and they kept calling me. And I was into that.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do restaurant food.
Yeah, I worked at Buffalo Wild Wings for 2 months, and I did not like making food. It was disgusting the way they made it, and it was the worst because I was the wing shaker at Buffalo Wild Wings. So I'd put the wings in this bucket, and then I'd pump the sauce into it. And at the end of the night, I'd spray all the buckets out. And, you know, they have I don't remember what the spiciest sauce was, but I'd be in the mop sink spraying the bucket out with the spiciest sauce, and it was like getting pepper sprayed because it would shoot this mist of hot water and sauce onto my face, and I'd be coughing and sneezing and gagging, and it was horrible. And that was like the last like food cooking job I ever did, because it's just disgusting how they made all that stuff and all the grease and the zits that I got and stuff like that. So
well, I made mistakes at Dairy Queen. My dad came in one time, ordered a banana split. Well, you know, you got chocolate, pineapple, strawberry on the ice cream. A banana split. I think it was $1.39. Now it's like $10 around here.
No kidding.
And I got home. My dad didn't want to embarrass me at work. He said, "That was a good banana split, but you forgot to put the bananas in." Oh yeah.
I think I heard that story. I'm pretty sure I remember Grandpa giving you crap about that when little kids forgot the banana in it.
Yeah. And then another time, a guy ordered small ice cream.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I didn't hear him say that it was for his dog. So I said, "Hang on while I get you a spoon." Mm-hmm. "No, it's for my dog." "Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't hear you." So. Other than that, I was not a bad ice cream guy.
Yeah. I feel like you and your work ethic, because you ended up retiring off of UPS was your longest job, and I think you gave all of us boys really good work ethics, so that's good, because now I work with a bunch of kids that can't show up to work on time and they leave early, and you know, I always got to jump on their ass, and they're on their phones all the time. So, but I was going to ask you about your elk hunting. So my dad is a legendary elk hunter. What was your record? 19 bulls in a row?
I don't remember the male or female sexes. I just know I've killed 39.
Yeah, that's crazy.
A lot of that information's classified.
Well, yeah, we won't give them location.
Can't discuss it to the world here.
That's why we're wearing sunglasses, so you can't identify him when he's on the trail.
Right.
Slaying elk. But you guys might see a video one of these days of my dad slaying some big elk. So, but you've been hunting elk. You basically moved to Montana for that, pretty much, right? It was hunting and fishing.
That's the only reason I moved to Montana.
Mm-hmm.
Elk hunting.
Yeah.
It wasn't for the big farm girls.
Yeah, no kidding. Like Townsend's got some gnarly chicks over there. I remember going to church camp, and all the Townsend chicks were either like little scrawny tiny things, or they're just big old corn-fed chicks. So. But what was like your worst hunting trip? Like everything went wrong, everything fell apart, it just sucked.
I don't think I ever had one.
No, I know you've had one because I've been on those trips with you before.
Yeah. Well, we lost a hunter one time.
You lost?
And search and rescue had to come find him because we couldn't find him.
Yeah. Yeah, me and...
Yeah, other than that, I got a little tired mountain goat hunting, but...
Yeah. Well, I was thinking of that trip that it was me and Cole and you turkey hunting.
Oh, well, yeah.
In the snow. And you got
one of the top 10 stupid things there.
Yeah, so I don't remember that story exactly how it went because I was so young, but I remember we just sat in the camper the whole time because it like dumped like 2 feet of snow and got did the truck get stuck? Or
well,
the
that's
trailer
the
get
part
stuck?
you didn't,
Yeah.
Drove in a snowstorm, got in there, got halfway around the big loop that we take. Well, I couldn't find a parking spot, snowing, for this brand new trailer we had. And we got all the way on the back side in the Suburban, who I was pulling the 29-foot travel trailer with, slid off the road. The trailer stayed on the road. And while you three were sleeping in the Suburban, I was out chaining up the Suburban to get out of there, which I changed up the front tires and was able to make it all the way around to the beginning, but we parked there that night and it just kept snowing.
Mm-hmm.
And then the battery drained from running the heater all night.
Mm-hmm.
And luckily, guy I hunt with showed up next morning with his dad to jump us, and then we got the heck out of there. Never did turkey hunt because snow was like a foot deep and the roads were impassable. But the tire change, we got back to the highway, and that was
horrible.
That was
trip.
an ordeal.
Yeah. What do you think your I feel like my favorite hunting trips are always the Arizona trips because you don't have to deal with snow, but I felt like half of the times we went javelina hunting, it ended up snowing anyway. Like, I remember the first year we went and you stuck that pig, but it somehow just ran for miles.
Oh, yeah. But we were able to track him.
Yeah, which worked out with the snow. And then I remember the one year I got a pig tag. The only time I got one was muzzleloader season. And the first time, I think it was the first time is when you forgot the nipple on the muzzleloader.
Oh, yeah, we got there late.
Yeah.
And in a hurry. And when I cleaned the muzzleloader, I take the little nipple out. And so we clean out all that area. Well, when we went hunting, I forgot to put the nipple back in. So you got powder going down there, and who knows how much powder you're losing when you're walking around with the muzzleloader.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. And I think we left the nipple actually back at camp in a bag that I had or something.
Yeah, because you went to put the blasting cap on, and I remember watching you go, oh, shit.
Yeah. And I didn't know for sure how much powder went out, so we had to start over, and then we didn't see any more pigs.
Well, we did, but you tried to use your new varmint call.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So if you guys have never heard a rabbit varmint call, it's the most horrible sounding, screeching, like if you heard it in the middle of the night, it'd be bone-chilling sound ever, and he just got this new varmint call that we wanted to try out. And it ended up scaring him off. And then after that year, we did bow season every year after that. Now, I bought a bow for one hunting season and lost like 6 arrows and decided it wasn't for me. And so now I just go quail hunting every time I go. But I think this next season I'll go down there and I'll just bring the camera to videotape him hunting. So... like he said, subscribe and like the video. You guys want to see some hunting videos, so I think that'll be really fun. I haven't gone in like 2 or 3 years, I think. I think the last time I went was before I met Lily, so it must have been 3 years ago.
You were talking on the phone to her there.
Oh, yeah. So
about
it would have
3
been,
years ago, I think it was.
Yeah, it would have been 2022.
Yeah.
2022, yeah. So it's been a couple of years. But, do you remember that one hunting trip in javelina hunting where we went with Tyler and Scott and all those guys, and Tyler let me and Cole watch Austin Powers Gold Member.
Yeah, Gold, yeah.
Yeah, you remember?
Well, KD was there when KD was there.
Yeah, and Katie and Kelly were there.
Kelly,
yeah, and then I quoted a part of that movie to Mom.
Yeah.
From Fat Bastard, and got caught, and they were so
I didn't know what you guys were watching, and they're laughing all the time. I didn't know anything about it until I saw it later on.
Yeah, because what were we, like 12, 13 years old maybe? I was pretty young. Yeah. But it was that part of Austin Powers Gold Member where Fat Bastard loses a ton of weight. And so he's got all that flabby skin, and he goes up and he goes, look at my neck, it looks like a vagina. So when I got home back to my grandparents' house where my mom was, I ran up to somebody and I said that, and my mom about lost her mind and then started yelling at him, and he's like, I don't even know what they were watching. So then Tyler and Scott were laughing because they knew that we were watching that movie, and I tell that story all the time.
I don't know who brought that movie, Grant?
That was Tyler. Tyler had like
Tyler did?
Yeah, that was like the last year that Tyler ever went to that camp. But So what? You're a big hunter. We've been talking about hunting. What's like your biggest dream hunting trip? Like literally anywhere in the world, like Africa hunt, anywhere here. I mean, you got your dream goat tag, so that was pretty cool.
Bighorn sheep tag.
Yeah.
In either Montana or be better in Arizona even, but
yeah.
Killed a few ewe sheep, or a couple anyway. But I got 22 bonus points from Montana and 3 or 4 for Arizona, which that's a long shot. But,
yeah.
So yeah.
And then, would you want to do like an Africa hunting trip? Is that something?
No, most of those Africa trips are high fence. They're inside fences.
Oh yeah.
And the
it's
ones
like shooting cattle.
Yeah. It's high fence, like in Texas they do all the time.
Yeah. Super.
So
cheap,
I'm not interested in doing that.
Yeah. Okay. So I wanted to ask this story because you've told us 50 different stories, but how did you actually break your arm? Because when we were growing up, so show him the scar on your arm real quick. Just go like that. So he's got a big scar on his arm. And when we were growing up, if we were doing something that was somewhat dangerous, suddenly that's how he would mess his arm up. So we would be climbing up the big cottonwood tree next to our house. And he'd say, like, don't do that. Like, this is how I got this scar. I fell down and scraped my arm or broke my arm off with a tree. And then, what else we're doing? We were riding a dirt bike or something, or bicycles and jumping them. And then suddenly that's how he got the scar on his arm. And it's a gnarly scar.
It's terrifying. Bad. It's a skin graft. I mean,
well, it wasn't from the break. It was more from the way that they did it.
The swelling didn't go down. I was supposed to go back and it was a skin graft off my leg.
Yeah. Well, how'd you break it originally? Then?
Well, I was playing basketball and we had this bench set up, and we were running towards the bench with the ball in our hand, jumping off the bench and dunking basketballs through the rim. And I went up a little bit too hard and hit my head on the rim or the backboard, I don't remember, but went over backwards. And then when I went to break my fall, it landed on my wrist, of course, and that broke, and really didn't hurt that bad. Just kind of like a numbing sensation.
Pinched a nerve or something.
Yeah, I knew it broke or something was wrong. So I went up to the hospital and they set it, put me in a cast. Well, it hurt all night the next day, so they finally cut the cast off, and it was swollen so bad they were worried about the muscle dying. So they cut my arm open to relieve the pressure, and it was like that for, I don't know, 5 or 6 weeks before they decided they better close it up. And the only way to do that, because it wouldn't hold stitches, was to put a skin graft. And then once that healed up, they'd go back later, and when the swelling went down, they would take that piece out, and then they would make a regular stitching, with just a line. And ended up, that was when I was 12 years old, I think. I never went back to have that procedure done. So, yeah, it's still the same as it was back in 76. I guess I was 13.
Yeah. Well, and your brother Sean's got like just as gnarly scar on his leg.
Well, that's from a motorcycle wreck.
Yeah.
That's a whole new story.
I think Lee's the only one that doesn't have some gnarly scar on his body.
Yeah.
But, oh yeah, if you guys didn't know, so in my brothers and sisters, it goes girl, boy, girl, boy, 5 kids total. The exact same order, same genders is in his family. Girl, boy, girl, boy. And in the lineup, I am him in the lineup.
And about the same age apart.
Yeah, same age apart and everything. So it was always a big joke growing up that I was going to have 5 kids just to see if it would be the same order. But as you guys know, I have no kids and I'm 33. I remember when I turned 25 on my birthday, your mom, Grandma Donna, called me, and the first thing she said is, when your grandpa was your age, he had a house and 5 kids. I was living with you guys, I think, at the time. It was super funny. But I got a couple other random questions here. Well, let's go through some photos here. So, Mom sent me a bunch of photos of you guys.
She said that was at Walmart, that one.
This one?
Yeah, that's...
Well, no, she didn't say that one was at Walmart. I think it was the one... Or no, I think it was the same day. There's this one, and then there's one with all 5 of us kids.
Yeah, it could be, but I think it was at a hotel they were having out in front of Walmart.
Oh,
in
really?
a room, I think is what I remember.
Yeah, I remember the Walmart photo shop all the time, seeing families there, and thought that was weird. So here's a picture of you, your basketball. You look tiny.
Yeah, I was about 6th or 7th grade, and I was on the Sonics at AYA basketball program in Germany. That's what that's about.
Oh, that's in Germany?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't even know they had color photography.
Yeah, that was, I
back
think,
then.
7th grade. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and everyone says me and my dad look super similar. Remember that one time?
Put that on the TV.
Yeah, so when I go to edit it, it'll just pop up, kind of like the video I showed you with Mom. Yeah. So as long as we describe it a little bit, I'll know which picture to put up there. But you remember?
I'm stiffing a little bit right now because there's a cat close by.
Yeah, so my dad's super duper allergic to cats, and these cats are everywhere. So, what about that one?
That's the very first deer I shot down by Cochise's stronghold.
Oh, that's the one we got mounted on the wall.
Yeah,
it's the white-tail mule.
Well, it's a mule deer
hybrid.
cross. It's got mule deer ears, but it had a white-tail tail.
Yeah.
It was a hybrid.
Okay.
Which, that was down by Cochise's stronghold down southern Arizona.
Okay, yeah, it looks like Arizona. Yeah, and I got my first deer mounted too. It's that European mount up on the wall. So we were looking at this picture. This is my baby picture. And we were noticing Mom's super dope mullet.
Bi-level, what do they call it?
A bi-level.
I can't remember, something like that.
Yeah. And then there's that one. And then, do you remember this story? Because I was telling Mom, but she didn't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember if that's... I think that's her birthday, but...
Yeah, we did something, because I remember we went to Dairy Queen or something, and then we went to the store to get that.
I can't remember. I've given her so many flowers, I can't tell that story apart.
It's hard being a gentleman all the time. I can't remember all the gentlemanly things you do.
And I thought that was at Highlight, but apparently that's Canada.
That's close. We're close. Yeah, Mom said she was 3 months pregnant with me in this picture.
There's the waxing on that chest there in that picture.
Yeah, you can definitely tell that there's not a single hair on there. So Lily makes fun of my chest hair all the time because I got like 5 of them, and I'll sit there and I'll massage them and try to make them grow bigger. No, we're not the best.
Grass never grew on a playground.
Yeah, exactly. And then I showed this picture to Lily, and she just looked at me and smiled. And she said, your dad's hot.
Yeah,
that's like the hairstyle, and then like kids these days are wearing trucker hats just like that.
That's in Arkansas.
That's in Arkansas.
Grandmother's house, yeah.
Was that on the rice farm that we used to hunt on?
Okay. Farm, yeah.
Yeah, so my grandparents used to own a rice farm down in Arkansas, and they have a duck blind in there in the fall, and we go hunting down there.
I was probably 19 there.
19, yeah. And what else we got? There's your wedding picture with the white tuxedo, which I thought was pretty funny. I didn't notice it at first. I was like, wait a minute, I've never seen like baby blue. Is that baby blue or is that white all the way through?
It's white.
That's crazy. There's you. This is a more recent picture.
I don't know. That's a Noxon Reservoir.
Yeah, that's a perch, right? A little perch.
That's my bait. I was catching bigger fish.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, I remember like fishing. It was like most of the time it wasn't great fishing except for Tongue River Reservoir. And it would always end up being you and me on the fishing boat while everyone else was back at camp. And we'd be the last fishermen, and we'd always at least catch like a couple more walleye or trout or whatever we were fishing for. But yeah, I always felt like you and me were the killer fishermen, and everyone else would always give up. I think Tongue River Reservoir, I still talk about that first year that we went for spawning season, where you could just pull out 4 feet of line and dip it in and pull out a fish.
Yeah.
I think we calculated it, and we caught like
It was about 300, I think.
a day. I think the number I remember is after the fishing trip, we calculated around 700 fish.
Well, you catch, I mean, cut all you want, really.
Yeah,
you keep them all.
Yeah. Well, at first we kept them all, and then after a while, you're like, we don't have enough room. We're never going to be able to eat these.
Yeah.
So it was like anything that was under 10 or 13 inches, we'd end up throwing back. And then after that, it was never the same. It never got any better. And then
that was in Seattle.
Yeah, it looks like you're at
Boston
a game.
Red Sox.
Red Sox game.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Upside down.
Yeah, she sent me some pictures that ended up being upside down. Oh, which horse is that? Is that Snoopy?
It looks like Custard. That's Custard,
so a little more recent. So my dad has. Oh yeah, we're not supposed to talk about it. He's got a fortress up in the mountains that he hunts at. That's where he got all of his elk at. Have you killed elk anywhere else besides in Montana?
Yeah, up at Townsend.
Well, like anywhere besides Montana. Is there any other?
Arizona last year. That's it. Yeah.
Oh really?
Killed them last fall in Arizona.
Yeah. I think that's all the pictures. So, yes. Last thing. So your life. I think I asked you this earlier, actually. We'll cut it soon. I know that the cats are killing you, but again, like, is there any like the craziest thing you've ever seen? Like wrecks, concerts, fights. Literally, like the craziest thing that you've ever seen. Like the craziest thing I've ever seen was probably an all-out giant brawl fight at Country Jam where it was like 200 people fighting each other and the cops just kind of gave up and walked off.
No, I can't think of anything.
Can't think of anything. That's all right. So anyway, we'll wrap it up there. The cats are killing them. I know it's hurting. Oh, we just made it past 40 minutes, so you made it past your timeline.
Yeah, those cats are something. I took an allergy pill and it's just working me over now.
Yeah, terrible. Go ahead and remind the people what to do.
Oh yeah, you want to hit that like button and subscribe because you might get a hunting show out of me here pretty quick.
Yeah, never know. In 5 years,
might get a secret out of me. I'll try to retire from hunting a little bit here and there. My secrets might be on the next one. You don't know.
Yeah. Secrets are for sale. So. Yeah. You never know. Maybe in 5 years from now, we'll have the biggest YouTube hunting channel ever.
Yeah, that's right.
So we'll see. But anyway, thanks guys for watching the Parents Podcast. Like I said, you can find us on YouTube, Spotify, Patreon. Email me at cocklspodcast.com if you got any comments, concerns, stories, questions, anything like that at all. I hope you guys have a great week, and thank you for stopping by and hanging out.